So we've been talking a lot about veterans on the campaign trail, and I've shared the story many times that what Julie and I do, we support veteran causes through our Bags for the Brave. We raise money every year to send veterans on honor flight. But people often wonder where the love of and appreciation for veterans came from. So I started sharing that a little bit, and sharing the fact that I was raised in a veteran's home. This is my father, Ed Nicholas. He left for Vietnam when I was less than 24 hours old, and was in Vietnam for 13 months, and served his country well, and then went on to even continue to serve the country through the National Guard. So with that, I'll turn it over to you to share any details that you want to share about Vietnam, your time in service, National Guard. You also went to the Desert Storm. You don't have to talk anything about my childhood.
Okay, well, that's right. I joined the Marine Corps. I graduated from Rock Falls High School in 1963. My twin brother and I joined the Marine Corps in February of 63 when we were still in high school on the delayed entry program. So about a week after we graduated in June, we headed off for Des Moines, Iowa. They put us on a train in Des Moines, headed for California. And next thing I know, somebody's yelling at us, and we're in boot camp in the United States Marine Corps at Marine Corps Recruit Depot, San Diego, California. That was in 1963. All that happened in 63, 64. Came home, got married to Carol and Brett's mom. And on March 12th, Brett was born. And on March 13th, I boarded the USS Breckenridge for overseas. And when we got to Okinawa, our outfit was changed to, I was in 1st Platoon, Alpha Company, 1st Battalion, 9th Marine Regiment, 3rd Marine Division, 1-9. 1-9 acquired the moniker in Vietnam as The Walking Dead. And that's what it continues to be to this day. So, we lost some guys, very good guys. It was tough. But anyway, we survived Vietnam and came home. I came home in April, and Brett was already 13 months old. So, didn't see much of him growing up. So I didn't have to change diapers anyway, so that was a good thing. And then I ended up out at Cherry Point, North Carolina. He ended up at Parris Island, South Carolina. And I stayed there until 1967, and he stayed down there until 67, and we both got out in June of 67 and came back here. He went to work for the Rock Falls Light Department. I went to work for Prudential Insurance Company. And for some reason, in 1982, 15 years later, he called me and says, let's join the National Guard. And we joined. So we tried one, and the next thing you know, we re-enlisted, and then the next thing you know, we're getting, they changed us to a transportation unit in the late 80s. And then in 1990, in October of 90, we were activated for Desert Shield in the Storm. We got on a plane, flew over to Saudi Arabia, and we spent the next 6 months there. And we were both in the same platoon at that time also. And then that finally got over with, and they put us on a plane. We came back home. And then in 93, we came home in 91, June of 91. And then in 93, we got deployed down to Quincy, Illinois for the flood of 93 at the Mississippi. It was a pretty bad flood down there, and so we went down there to help people out and whatnot. We were down there for 3 weeks. And then we came back and just did a regular Guard thing. I ended up spending 22 years in the National Guard.
22 years on top of the 4 in the Marines?
And 4 years in the Marine Corps, yeah. So I had 26 years total service. So he became first sergeant in October of '96. I became battalion sergeant major, and then in March of '97, Ted died. He stopped running, staying in shape for his PT test, and came in and had a heart attack and passed away. So life went on, and like I say, I served till 2004.
Mm-hmm.
2004, and I said that's enough. 22 years. There were some good people in the Guards. There were some really good people. I would say that a lot of the soldiers that I had in the Guard would be good Marines. So that's kind of how I judge soldiers.
That's the standard.
As a standard.
Would I have been a good Marine? Evidently
you
not.
learned,
He wouldn't let me enlist. So I had every intention of enlisting my junior year on a delayed entry program like what he did. And he would not let me enlist, would you?
I don't remember that.
Yeah, you didn't. said I wouldn't
You
survive.
say so, I'm sure that's true.
You said I wouldn't survive boot camp.
Yeah,
Something to do with an attitude or something. I don't know what it was.
yeah, maybe that was it.
But he let my younger brother, he let him do it. So everything worked out. God had a great plan, and that I never did go into the military, but I've been raised in a family of military. Like he shared, him and his twin brother. My brother was a Marine. His son is a Marine, so it'll be my nephew. My son-in-law is in the Army, and he's on 12 years. Jason, cousins. Our family is just very.
Your grandpa Nicholas, his brother was in the Marine
Right.
Corps.
He was in World War II, right, Donnie?
He was in World War II. Yeah.
So, veteran patriotic service runs deep in the Nicholas family, and though I did not serve, I certainly you just grow up appreciating and honoring the people that do serve, and I think that's something that wouldn't you agree that's something we've lost in our country that to
Well,
honor.
First of all, I'll attest to the fact that Brett, even though he didn't serve, is certainly a very patriotic American. That I can attest to, for sure.
Right, because I was raised.
Everything that he supports, all the veterans organizations he supports, it's very important.